maybe let's quickly go to the previous slide, the first slide. Hi, Magdalena Gufler. She is from the University of Upper Austria, Applied University of Technology. And yeah, welcome to you. We are really glad that you could stand in for Stefan Zunzenauer at such short notice. Thanks a lot.
You're welcome. Hi, everybody.
Great. All right, so we're really pleased to announce that, as was alluded in not the previous one, the presentation before that, Professor Zeller said that as of 2023, we'll be hosting a course called the International Foundation Program, the IFP, in Swakopmund, and so that is to us very good news. We'll talk about that just now. It was a collaboration which started off around about 2020, when the University of Applied Science Upper Austria entered into an agreement with the private school Swakopmund, and so it was a bilateral agreement with benefits, I think, to both. On the one hand, we would have this beautiful international contact with the university, whereas before we were working and fighting against UniAssist, which was also alluded to by Prof. Zeller just now, and now all of a sudden we have people. We had humans on the other side of our emails, and on the other side of the big pond of the ocean. And we thought that this was an absolute opportunity which we didn't want to forego. And maybe next slide quickly. And that idea was started by one of, and the next slide maybe, a young lady, Kara Kirchhoff. If you look on the top left-hand corner, that was little Kara. She was one of our students. That must have been around about 2000 or 2002 in that area. And there's the entire school, as you can see, with a blue arrow pointing to Kara. Kara's now something like what we would call a faculty officer, and she works in the Faculty of Electrical Engineering, and she gives us amazing service. So we do not go through UniAssist, we go through Kara Assist, and Kara assists, that's it. And we were, so that is one of the most amazing things that happened to us in terms of connection with universities. And Magdalena, if you would like to introduce yourself and also your colleague Stefan.
Yes, so first of all, thank you very much for having me. My name is Magdalena Gufler. I work for the International Foundation Program at the University of Applied Sciences Upper Austria, or short FH. And yeah, I'm responsible for the foundation program, and this is actually my boss, Stefan Zunzenauer. He is the head of studies of this program and also of our Center of Lifelong Learning, which is a faculty that we have. Exactly.
So we are at the moment working together with Professor Zunzenauer, as well as with Kara, on the existing International Foundation Program, and we are very excited about that. So, because as of next year, and maybe let's skip the next slide, as of next year, this program will be based in Swakopmund as of January 2023. It will be a course run in German, although in the following year there will be an English stream available, and it will be done through team teaching. It will be Austrian professors, and there will be teachers from our school, postgraduate teachers, like, for instance, our good teacher over here, Didi, he will be teaching in there. but I think also a few others will also be teaching in there. So the tuition will come from Austria, and we will be working through the practical applications with the students. So there will be theoretical parts per week, but then also practical parts.
Good. So can I move on with that slide?
Yes,
If that's
please.
okay with you? Okay, perfect. Good. So the first question that most of you will have is who can participate? So you can participate in this program if you are looking for a preparation program that's taught in German. It's, as already said, a preparation program that prepares you for your studies in Austria or in general in Europe. If you do not meet the entrance requirements for studying here or again in Europe in general, or if you want to fresh up your knowledge before coming to Austria, because it is, as already said, a preparation program and prepares you, and so that you are well prepared for your bachelor studies and also for your master studies if you want to do some. Good, then just in a nutshell for all of you, what is the International Foundation Program? It's generally, again, a preparation program that you do before your bachelor studies. It's a 2-semester program. It covers courses such as maths, physics, applied informatics, English, German as a foreign language, and intercultural competences. And maybe also a few more words on the curriculum, just a very basic. You will have term 1 and term 2, term 1 from January to May, and then term 2 from May to September. Basically, you will have core subjects and electives. In the first semester, it will be core subjects. So you will have mathematics, physics, intercultural skills, and English and German. For mathematics and physics, it's very important to know that those courses will be divided into lecture and exercise. So lecture basically means that you will have a theoretical class where you learn all the things, and then in the exercise, you put it into practice, basically. So this goes for mathematics and for physics. Intercultural skills, English and German are like seminars. Then for term 2, you will have mathematics 2 and English and German again as core subjects, again, lecture, exercise, and seminar. And then there will be electives. So depending on what you would like to study after the foundation program, you choose the course that you need or that is mandatory. So for example, physics 2 is mandatory for everyone who is interested in engineering, so electrical engineering, and also for everybody who is interested in IT. Then we have applied informatics. This is recommended, not necessarily mandatory, but definitely highly recommended for everyone who is into IT and engineering again. And then there will be one course available that the PSS does, so in Namibia, and this is for economics and management.
Right, so the first trimester, number 1, for next year, language of tuition, German. First semester, January to May, second semester, May to September, and then with the option of an entry into the Upper Austria Applied University of Technology in October. So there's no wasting of time. It is actually just getting straight into, obviously if you pass, straight into that university. Right, so the program costs, you would ask what that is. That's more or less 50,000 Namibia dollars, and it excludes accommodation and living costs. Now, if you take that amount, it's in all probability less than your school fees in a private school. And if you take the university tuition costs of Austria, they will be more or less in line with what Stellenbosch and UCT are going to be asking you. So even though you're paying in euros, it'll be more or less in that line. So the degree that you'll be getting, or qualification, is a certificate from the University of Applied Science and confirming the completion of a pre-university qualification course.
Exactly. And then a few more words on the application and on the deadline. So the application deadline, generally you can register from July to December via email. Just use the email here. The required documents that are needed are school leaving certificates, then certificates from the highest educational level that you have. So diplomas, transcript, all of that is important. And then a letter of motivation and CV. So you send all those documents. And then the application procedure generally is that, you apply via email together with an official application form that will be available soon. And then the prerequisite will be checked if you fulfill the requirements for doing this program. And then you will be invited for the interview. Then you can start.
So a question might arise, why do we go to all this trouble of offering a course like this in Namibia? So one of my no-brainer answers would be that it will be much more cost efficient than if you go over to Austria. In one of the previous presentations, the professor more or less said what it would cost. Just accommodation and also your food. And if you transfer that, or if you calculate that into Namibia dollars, it'll cost you around about 15,000 a month. So if you want to do this bridging course, if you have to stay in Swakopmund, and if you have to eat in Swakopmund, and be taught here in Swakopmund, it's really a no-brainer. You'd be able to afford much, much more for 15 grand per month. In operability, you'd be able to cut that down to a third, or if you really want to live well, to about half that cost. So that's why we suggested that. So without any risks, one would be able to come here, see whether you can cope with the material, have teachers that understand you, and be less immersed in this environment. And then after you've done that, then obviously you've got the theory more or less sorted, and you can then go to Austria in that October. So if you want to apply, contact us at, got that one on the board, email address ifp FHOOE Fachhochschule Oberösterreich at pss.com.na. It's one of our PSS email addresses. It'll land directly in there, and we will answer your questions promptly. And if we don't know, we will pass that on to Magdalena or Kara or Stefan. Magdalena, anything else that you would like to add or say?
No, thank you. That would be everything from my side. If there are any questions, please feel free to ask. I'm still here.
Yes. Are there any exams? Will it just be attendance, or will there be exams and evaluation at the end of the course?
Will it be, Magdalena, what is your, is it continuous assessment, or is it an examination at the end of per semester?
I mean, I was not fully into this project, basically, so I was not fully like working in this project, so I don't know 100%. But based on what we do now in the IFP, and I guess that it will be very, very similar, we have exams at the end of the semester, but also in between. So there will be like a midterm and then a final exam. So I'm pretty sure that it will be like this as well, but I would have to ask Stefan Sunzenauer from more like 100% sure information, but I'm pretty sure that it will be done like this, yes.
I agree with you. I think Stefan said it will be exactly like the one that is running.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Thanks a lot. Any other questions? Yes.
I
So I just want to ask you to maybe run through it again, because from what I understand is that you register and you maybe do your course here at Swakopmund, and then from Swakopmund, once you are certified, then go to Austria.
That's right. This is merely a bridging course. That is because if you have an AS qualification, school leaving certificate, you will not be able to go and study directly in Germany or in Austria or in Europe. All the universities require a bridging course. So you can, and this bridging course, instead of going over to Germany or going to Austria and having to pay quite a lot for a bridging course and to go and do it, you do it here. So the bridging course is done here, but then your ultimate goal is to go and study in Europe and in Austria. And just by the way, having said that, Magdalena, maybe you can just tell us how many universities does your university have a partnership agreement with?
How many I cannot say. There are a lot of universities that you can go to. You can go on like Erasmus if you want that. There are many partner universities, not just in Europe, worldwide. And you can do that both in bachelor and in master studies. So everything is possible, and the university is very encouraging as far as international experience is concerned. So you can go everywhere you want, basically.
Why I was asking this particular, I'm coming to your question just now. Why I was asking this particular question is, once you're in this university, it's not going to be like a marriage that, you know, for the rest of your life you are going to be married to this university. You can, after 1 or 2 or 3 or how many semesters, actually go to another university for a semester to go and check it out and to augment what you have studied, because they have international recognition agreements. And I believe, if I can recall your prospectus, that there are 200 or 600 universities worldwide with whom you have cooperation agreements. I'm not quite, it was in the hundreds.
Yes, there are more and more. That's why I cannot give you a concrete number, but there are many, like for example, in Thailand, in the United States. So yeah, basically, I think I would say almost in every country. And as you said, you can study there as well, and then get your qualification that you have completed at our university recognized as well. Yes.
You had another question before I'm going to go over to Ms. Lichty.
I just want to ask again, so does that then mean that the studying have to be done online, or do they have facilities?
It's going to be a dual kind of course. On the one hand, the professors will be online, but we will be sitting in a group, working in a group, and then there will be highly qualified facilitators, teachers with postgrad qualifications, assisting with the practical application. And if you really don't understand them, they will be able to explain. Yes, Ms. Lichty.
This qualification, will it be help you to get into other European universities as a bridging course as well?
Yeah, she mentioned that briefly as well just now.
Yeah, but she said their universities, but what about other European universities?
Magdalena, is there something that you'd be able to tell us about that? This bridging course, does that allow entry into another university, like for instance the Fachhochschule Wien or München or something like that? Okay.
Yeah, generally we cannot guarantee. So that's very important. In the first place to know, every university that offers a bridging course can never guarantee that another university will accept this bridging course. But, and that's very important, we have had quite a few students who went to another university and they had no problems with our certificate. So generally, I would say that it always depends on the university. Usually there are no problems, but, and yeah, that has to be considered. There are universities that do not accept it. So that's we have to be honest here. That can happen, but from our experience so far, the universities and also other like Fachhochschulen or FHs, they're very open and will contact me or our department and ask, okay, what is this? And then it's usually fine, but yeah, we cannot guarantee.
And in that case, where it is a no, please help me if I'm wrong. You would study a semester or 2 semesters and you could then migrate to any other European university, am I more or less right?
Exactly. So usually universities, once they get the qualification, they will review it and then they will say, okay, this matches our requirements. And if it does not match, they will tell the applicant, okay, you need either like this qualification or that exam at our university and things like that. So that's usually how it is done, at least in Austria. That's what I know.
Yes. Yeah.
Passing the foundation course, does it mean I will be accepted at the University of Upper Austria?
Did you get that question? Does that passing this IFP, does that guarantee you entry into the Fachhochschule Oberösterreich?
Yeah, so generally all our students apply to their program of choice. It's usually, so in the normal academic year, it would be in March, but I guess that in this case now it's after the first semester, so whenever that is. And then you apply, you go through the application procedure, and then the department decides if they accept you or not. Generally, if people have good grades, perform well, there will never be any problems. So that's for sure. This is just for like cases where people don't take it seriously, which I don't hope. Then you could run into difficulties with the acceptance, but generally should work out perfectly fine.
Does it sometimes occur that where some of the courses are oversubscribed? In other words, you might have 60 places, but there are 120 applicants. And which ones would they then take of the IFP? Would they take the ones with the better marks, or is there such a discrimination being made, or fair discrimination?
Yeah, I understand the question. Generally, I mean, it depends on the department, but usually most of our students get accepted. I mean, there are study programs that receive a lot of applications, especially things like management are very popular at the moment. So yeah, you could run into troubles there, but that's very important. We inform the departments that the applicant comes from our program. So they know in advance that he or she is coming from our program. It's not to say that this is so that everything is set in stone and that people can relax and enjoy the year, not at all, but they know. So usually the chances are very high. And as already said, if people have good grades, perform well, there are usually no problems. It's not as competitive as most people maybe think it is.
Okay, any other questions? Yes.
How long would this bridge course go? How long is this?
Okay, that is from January until September. Yeah. And then October 1 starts with the in Austria. Yes.
I would like to, the young gentlemen, all of you sitting there, and what grade are you now? Are you AS now? So you are interested to do this next year? Interested.
Might be.
What are the chances that we can offer it in English next year?
That's a very good question. The answer to that really is, I think please correct me, Magdalena, if I'm wrong. We asked about the English, and the answer to that was that the German program is much more stable. They've really worked that out to a T. My guess is also that there will be more staff able to teach in German. And And that's why they wanted to start experimenting with that one first. But then in our presentation, it said that they will be doing in 2024. If we see that there is enough interest, that we will be doing it. There you go. Second from the top, key facts, 2024 in English. Yeah.
If the language of tuition is German, there are a number of possibilities. Firstly, the practical screening. And secondly, with the university to consider writing exams in English. That would be accommodating the lack of teaching in German, but then would compensate in terms of practical tuition in English, as well as then the exams being written in English. But does the university offer English exams?
Magdalena, would you like to comment on that?
Could you maybe repeat the last part? I heard that it was about exams and the language that's used in the exam, but I could not understand the first part of the question.
The first part would be that tuition by the professors would be in English, in German, sorry. And
yeah, in German, yes.
The Namibian assistance from the teachers could be in English or could be augmented in English, and that could then possibly write examinations in English.
I mean, I would have to ask. Usually at our university, the language of tuition is also the language of the exam. I mean, I'm pretty sure that most of the teachers will speak English, so they can help out in English. Whether or not they are able to actually do the exam in English, I am not 100% sure. And as you already said, it's a lot easier to find stuff that teaches in German rather than in English, especially for subjects like mathematics and physics. It's pretty tough to find someone who feels comfortable teaching that subject in English. Yeah.
Sorry, I'm speaking again. Is the PSS the only external facility worldwide that offers this course outside of Austria?
Do you know of any other Austrian university offering?
No, the same university offering the same course in Thailand.
Are you offering this course, this IFP, in another site or another country at the moment, or
non-European country?
A non-European country?
No. This is the first cooperation that we have. So right now, the International Foundation Program is only at our university here in Austria, in Wales. This is our location, and the Namibia project is the first one of its kind. And we do not, so far, have no other cooperations with any other countries or schools or whatever.
Great. Okay. Any other question? For 2 marks? For 3 marks? Okay, for 3 marks.
Maybe you can just tell them that if it is a problem for you for the first year, we do offer bridging courses and A levels, and it could be a nice way to.
Yeah. Other option to gentlemen and lady, one lady, is that there are A levels also at our school, and that one could actually then get some intensive German if you want to go and study in Germany or in Austria. That's another option to go for. Right. Going. Magdalena, thanks so much for being with us and giving us great information, and thanks to your university for just walking this down this path together with us. And give my best regards to Stefan.
Thank you very much. Thank you, and have a good day. And yeah, if any questions come up, please feel free to contact us, to contact me, the university, Kara, Stefan, anybody.
Great stuff.
We'll be happy to receive your questions, feedback, whatever. Thank you very much, and have a good day. Bye.